Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
The 357th District Court will call its court into session for today's docket, Wednesday, March 16, 2022. Starting with civil hearings set for this morning, 2020 DCL 5318, Miguel Gonzalez versus Plains Bank Capital.
Esteban Gonzalez on behalf. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Guerra and Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor. For Plains Capital Bank.
Okay, what's going on?
Your Honor, we filed a counterclaim in January. We're trying to get service on the counter defendant. I did reach out to Mr. Gonzalez's counsel as well, and we did file this joint motion for continuance. The counter defendant is a necessary party for us to go forward and proceed. So we'd like to ask the court to allow us to pass our trial setting, which is set for next week. And again, we indicated it under our agreed motion. We'd ask the court to allow us that additional time so we can get service perfected on the counter defendant and then proceed forward toward the continuation of the lawsuit.
Where is your lawsuit, your underlying lawsuit? How far along are you?
Your Honor, this was a debt issue regarding Mr. Gonzalez and the counter defendant, Mr. Pushar is a necessary party, and that Mr. Pacas, Gerald Pacas, he was a guarantor of the note. And so we would like to include him in our counterclaim to enforce the debt.
Mr. Guerra?
Your Honor, that's correct, but just for the record, the dispute is between the amount. My client says that it's 11,000, and we had before we filed a lawsuit. Senator had said it was 11,000 to pay off the total debt, and then all of a sudden they switched it to 27. My client even still has a cashier check for that. So it's really a dispute between, is it 11,000, which my client says, or is it 27? But we're not opposing to the continuance, Your Honor. I mean, whatever necessary parties, that's fine. But it's basically a numbers game. We're saying that it's 11,500. I mean, my client has raised the money and ready to pay off the total amount the seller had said before, but that's where it is.
I'm assuming that this involves an amount that one amount it doesn't reflect the addition of attorney's fees and other payments that have been made by Plains Capital on behalf of the debtor or something like that. Is that the difference?
That would be somewhat the difference as well, Your Honor. Continued accrual of both amounts due under the contract, not just only attorney fees, but in addition to perhaps additional taxes, escrow amounts as well. But yes, that is correct.
Taxes and insurance.
Correct. Forced place
insurance.
Correct, Your Honor.
Right. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a question, both of you. How long do you need to try this case in my court? I'm ready to go to trial, and I need you to be ready to go to trial too. So tell me how long you need, because once you tell me that and I give you that date, I will not, Mr. Guerra and Mr. Gonzalez, entertain any more continuances. You'll be ready to go on that day.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, my apology. We had requested jointly at least 6 months, Your Honor, but if the court's inclined to reduce that, we would abide by that. But we just need the additional time to get service on Mr. Pacas, as well as to do some additional discovery on that end if possible, and then proceed to trial or some type of dispositive.
Take you to what, October?
Yes, Your Honor.
September? All right. Give me a trial set in mid-September.
Thank you.
What? All right. September 16th for announcements, the 19th for trial. No more
Thank you, Your Honor.
Be ready to go. We either settle it or be ready to go to trial. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Take care. 2016 DCL 1547 Ovation Services versus Nancy Perez.
Good morning, Your Honor. Erin Garcia here on behalf of Ovation Services.
Okay, Nancy Perez. Oh, Ms. Curiel, are you involved in this one too, Ms. Curiel?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Ariana Curiel on behalf of interveners.
All right. Ms. Perez, Nancy Perez. Have you, either one of you had contact with her? Is this pro se or a default or what?
I believe this is going to be a default judgment, Your Honor. I was conversing with Ms. Curiel. She did represent to me that they've made various attempts to get a hold of Ms. Nancy Perez, not only to discuss the debt, but even as far as going to make her aware of assistance programs that are currently available for these types of situations. Unfortunately, there's been no communication with Ms. Perez.
All right, so I have an order that's been put in front of me that requests a consolidation of cases. What am I doing here?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct. We are asking the court to consolidate 2016 DCL 1547 and 2017 DCL 2729. It is the same parties, same issue in fact, and we are asking the court to consolidate those two cases.
Okay. How did they
That
get
is correct, Your Honor.
like that? Huh. All right. The court has signed off on that order. I'm assuming no objection, right, Ms. Curiel?
Yeah, no objection, Your Honor. We agree with that consolidation.
Come again? Which one?
On the one that is in a consolidated, you can find it under 2016.
Okay, let me see. Ms. Garcia
Yes, Your Honor.
and Ms. Curiel, I've been advised that
And 2017.
by my coordinator that 2016 DCL 1547 may be in bankruptcy. Is this something you would want to do? Consolidate with a bankrupt case? Because if it is, then I'm under the purview of the bankruptcy court.
No, Your
Your
Honor. She had filed for bankruptcy and that got lifted. We had filed an abatement at one point and then we lifted that abatement.
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, all right. So the order for consolidating has been signed.
Thank you, Judge.
Proceed.
Your Honor, we are asking for judgment in the amount of, and this is for the plaintiffs and the interveners, in the amount of $74,439.89. That is after all available offsets and credits have been applied to this count. We are asking the court to take judicial notice of all the documents in the court's file, including but not limited to the business record affidavit, the attorney fee affidavit, and the military status affidavit that have been filed by Ovation Services, Your Honor.
Okay,
Interveners have no objection, Your Honor.
all right.
Interveners are also asking the court to take judicial notice of all the documents in the court's file. We're asking that judgment be granted in that amount. We intervened on behalf of Cameron County for delinquent taxes owing on this property, Your Honor. We did try contacting Ms. Nancy Perez. However, we were unsuccessful. We tried reaching out to her since the beginning of this case, since 2016. However, no payment arrangements have been made. I know we have, as mentioned earlier, gone through bankruptcy and then got out of bankruptcy. However, we're still here and this debt is still owing. These delinquent taxes are still owing to the county as well as to Ovation. So at this time, we are asking that judgment be granted for plaintiffs and interveners are offering exhibits A and B. Exhibit A is a certified copy of the delinquent taxes for the county and Exhibit B is an affidavit of fees.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. The court haven't called out the name of Nancy Perez. No answer having been had. The court has taken judicial notice of all documents and filed in this case. The court will admit the exhibits A and B on behalf of the interveners. Exhibits the attorney's fees affidavit, the certificate of non-military, and the business affidavit filed by plaintiffs. The court will grant judgment as prayed for in the amount of $74,439.89 as prayed for. I have a judgment here under 2016 DCL 1547. Is that the judgment you want me to sign?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court will grant the judgment as prayed for.
Thank you,
Thank
Your
you,
Honor.
Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, have a good day.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
May
Thank you,
be
Ms. Curiel.
excused as well. Thank you, Ms. Garcia.
Are they present that you have told them to be present?
I know, in the courtroom, yeah.
Yeah, they're here.
All right, I'll be with them in a sec. 2021 DCL 6870, Carlos Roberto Contreras, Benigno Contreras, Mr. Zayas, Mr. Kowalski.
Judge, good morning, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
I have not had a chance to speak with Mr. Zayas. As a matter of fact, this is the first time I know that there's an attorney representing Ms. Benigna Contreras. I didn't know that she had filed an answer. I'm requesting then a short continuance, Judge, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. My client is asking for a DNA test, Your Honor, and the petition.
There might be a problem with that. Judge, in 2021 DCL 04378, it's a child support order that's already been entered into as of these children. So there's a pending child support order. Children already have been established.
Okay, well, I have in my, this is a divorce, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
So what?
My client had been incarcerated, Your Honor.
All right, so.
And he has a doubt over the younger child, Judge.
He has a what?
A doubt.
I think we need to consolidate this case, Judge, and if he wants to try to modify that or try to undo that order, I think he has.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering, Mr. Kowalski. What is it that you're looking for? A divorce, just a divorce, or trying to address the child support and visitation schedule that's already in place pursuant to the other court order?
Yes, Judge, we would ask to consolidate. My client did not inform, and I did not know that there was already a case of child support against him.
Okay.
And I would ask orally, and then I'll follow up with a motion to consolidate, and then I'll speak to Mr. Zayas regarding the facts to see if we can come to some sort of an agreement regarding the divorce, the DNA, and everything else, Judge.
DNA.
Yes,
Well,
if the court grants the request.
well, the court certainly would like to engender, parenthood if he's the father, but how does that come into play? So in your petition for divorce, you're denying paternity? I have a petition for divorce in your case here that I'm looking at. Maybe I'm off center here. You filed a
Yes, Judge.
for divorce, and in that petition for divorce, are you contesting parenthood here? That the child is not of the marriage, or what?
Judge, I'm asking for a DNA.
DNA of a child that it's currently been declared that's one of his children,
Yes, Your Honor.
pursuant to the other order that Mr. Zayas is referring to?
Well, yes, I've not seen that order, but
Well, it would have to be an order establishing paternity and then establishing child-parent relationship, items like child support and visitation. I don't know of any other order that would be coming out of the magistrate's court.
yes, I've not seen the prior order, Judge. However, when my client came out of prison, he had some doubts regarding the last child, Your Honor. And that is why we were asking for a DNA.
And is that child currently the subject of that previous order, Mr. Zayas? Do you know?
It is my understanding, yes, Judge.
Okay. All right.
I would like to know the dates of that prior order, Judge, to see if he was already in prison or if he was served or
The prior order, Judge, was signed November 18, 2021. So it wasn't very long ago.
Last year.
Yeah, the end of last year.
I don't know if he was served. He did not come to my office with any other suit against him.
Was he in prison or was he out of prison?
Was he out of prison? Did he show up to the child support hearing?
We went in through the computer.
Did he go also?
Yes.
He appeared himself, Judge.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Mr. Kowalski.
Okay, Judge. Judge, Vidares is made
I want
public.
to continue that. I think you need to get your pleadings in order, consolidate, do whatever to clean it up, bring it all into this court, because then ultimately that's going to be the end game. That I want to consolidate everything into like one divorce decree. That's
Right. And then otherwise, there's really no assets, Judge.
So that's what I'm wondering. But he wants a DNA on the last child because he claims that it's not his child. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, he's not sure 100%, Your Honor. He's not sure 100%. It says that
Okay.
he's got doubts
Well, here's
and that the child does not look like him.
I'm going to give you time, Mr. Zaz. I'm not going to, we said it for a long time here. I'm going to give you time to look at the file that Mr. Zaz is referring to, because as far as I know, there should be an order in there. Well, no, take it back. No, never mind. All right. So what is your?
I would like to speak
me
to
an
my
order.
client, Your Honor, regarding this.
A DNA test for both your client and the child, and I think it's the child and your client.
Yes, Your Honor. That's what we're asking.
And if that's the only issue is holding up this thing, let's get done. So because pretty much unless you file other pleadings to put the issue of child support and visitation rights into issue, the court will hear it. But otherwise, that's the end of this one, and we'll get
Yes, Judge.
matter divorce.
Absolutely.
All right, sir. Thank you. I'll give you a couple of weeks to do that.
Thank you, Judge.
April 4th, Mr. Kowalski.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
4-4. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Will you excuse your honor?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
2022 DCL 983, Alejandro Cázares Alor, María de Rosario Ortega.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Ropez appearing, and my client is also online on Zoom.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor. Don Malagón on behalf of Maria Ortega. My client is present next to me.
I met with the children yesterday. Well, actually, not all of them, just with Martisa and Mia. I gotta tell you, the court is very concerned at what's been going on in this household. I want to give Mr. Malagón an opportunity to get his client on the stand and to tell me what's going on from her perspective. But I think that I've got a picture from one side, from the children's side of what has been going on in this house. And I'm very concerned about that. And the court, as a component of whatever I do, is going to request somebody to get me a psychological, some counseling on somebody's part. Because I need to get to the bottom of this. But it's very concerning what I drew from the children yesterday. I will tell you all that. So, Mr. Malagón, I don't want to issue any orders without having heard from your client. And in fact, I would like to hear from her because I want to know what's going on from her perspective.
Completely understand, Your Honor, and I don't know how long your docket is. I don't know if you want to put us on hold.
Oh, no, you're it. Is she there with you?
Yeah, she's here with me right here.
All
Next
right,
to me, Your Honor.
raise her right hand.
Interpreter.
She doesn't need an interpreter, Your Honor.
For Mr.
I'm here, Your Honor.
There you go.
Raise your right hand.
Levante su mano derecha.
Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Usted jura que de acuerdo al testimonio que se va a llevar a cabo ahorita en este momento va a ser la verdad y solamente la verdad? ¿Lo jura usted por Dios?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
Proseguir.
I want to know what's going on in our house.
Yo quiero saber qué es lo que está sucediendo en su casa.
Mi esposo todo el tiempo me ha amenazado en quitarme a mis hijos. Hace 4 años me hizo lo mismo, agarró mis hijas y se
Permítame.
fue.
My husband has always threatened me to take away my kids from me. He has always done it. He did it last year as well.
Okay.
Sí, adelante.
Y todo el tiempo me ha amenazado de quitarme a mis hijos,
He has always threatened me to take away my kids,
Okay?
que se los va a llevar para México y que nunca los voy a volver a ver.
that he's going to take them to Mexico and that I'm not going to see them anymore.
And that has caused you to do what?
Y eso le ha causado a usted hacer qué?
Pues yo he sido buena madre con mis hijas. Mi error fue trabajar, salir adelante con mis hijas. Él
Well, I
encontró-
have, I've been working with my kids. I'm a good mother. And my mistake has been to go back to work and to try to do the best for my kids.
And when you're working, are you taking care of your kids?
Y cuando está trabajando, ¿usted está cuidando usted a sus hijas?
yo las llevaba a la escuela, la mamá de las estaba
No,
cuidando.
I don't want to know what you used to do.
No quiero saber qué es lo que usted hacía.
I want to know, since you started working, are you taking care of your children the same way?
Quiero saber que si desde que usted empezó a trabajar, ha estado cuidando usted a sus hijas de la misma forma.
Sí.
Yes.
All right. Well, here's where I have a problem.
Bueno, aquí es donde tengo un problema.
Your own children do not paint it that way.
Sus propios hijos no lo dicen de esa forma.
They are very concerned. They are depressed. They
Ellos
are confused.
están muy mortificados sus hijos, están muy deprimidos y están muy confundidos
Because of your actions.
por las acciones de usted.
They don't understand how this could change in 1 year.
Ellos no pueden entender cómo esto ha cambiado en un año.
How your way of being, how your way of coming to your home, the times you come to your home, the things that they have seen you do, they're very confused. They're very depressed about this because they love you, but you're acting contrary to their interest.
La forma que ha cambiado usted, la forma que llega usted a la casa, a la hora que llega usted también a la casa, las cosas que hace, todas esas cosas que han estado sucediendo todo este año, los tiene sumamente confundidos y no saben qué es lo que está sucediendo.
Because they don't know you prior to a year ago, that's not the way you were.
Porque ellos, pues antes de un año, no era la forma que era usted.
Since you started working, actually.
Más bien, desde que usted empezó a trabajar,
You have changed in front of their eyes.
usted ha cambiado enfrente de sus ojos, o sea, ante ellos.
No, he sido igual con ella.
No.
They don't see you. You come really late at night. You leave early in the morning.
No la ven, llega súper tarde en la noche, se va súper temprano en la mañana.
You give them gifts and then you took them back.
Le da usted regalos.
They don't know what is going on. You bring them some excellent good gifts and the following day those gifts are gone, disappeared. They have no idea. You have complained that it's about money to you.
Les da usted regalos, les da muy buenos regalos, después se los quita, le da regalos, se los quita al día siguiente, se queja usted de que se trata de dinero. No.
And I don't want to accuse you of something because it will require something, but you have exposed them to
Y no la quiero acusar yo a usted de algo, pero usted los ha expuesto a
some very, very
a cosas muy
trying to find the right word here.
Estoy tratando de encontrar la palabra correcta.
Expose them to situations, adult situations that I should have never been exposed to.
Los ha expuesto usted a situaciones de adulto a las cuales usted no los debió de haber expuesto.
I am going to give you an opportunity to respond to all of this.
Le voy a dar yo la oportunidad a usted a responder a todo esto.
But for the moment being,
Mire,
I
sir.
am going to
Pero por el momento, sorry, sir, but
For the moment being, I am going to order temporary custody into your husband's hands.
pero por el mo-
I'm gonna ask you, I'm going to restrict you, I'm going to enjoin you from going about the house. And further, I'm going to allow you to have visitation rights as per the original, conditioned on you seeking some counseling.
Pero por el momento lo que sí voy a hacer es que le voy a otorgar la custodia temporal al papá de los niños. Sí le voy a restringir a usted el contacto que pueda tener con ellos, va a tener visitas supervisadas y también usted tiene que conseguir consejería para usted.
You understand me?
¿Me entiende lo que yo le dije?
Sí.
Yes.
These are things that I want to design to let you back into their lives and become the mother they knew.
Y estas son las cosas que yo quiero diseñar para que usted se convierta otra vez en la mamá a la que ellos conocieron.
Yo quiero mucho a mis hijos.
And
I
they
love my
you too.
kids.
And they love you too.
Y la aman a usted.
That's clear to me. That's why that's what makes them sad.
Eso es lo que los hace tristes,
They love you.
que la aman.
Yo también igual a ella.
And a me the same.
But they don't understand why you've been acting the way you've been acting and why you're doing the things you're doing lately.
Pero ellos no entienden la forma que usted ha estado actuando y las cosas que ha estado haciendo usted recientemente.
That has confused them to no end.
Eso los ha confundido a ellos, pero sobremanera.
And it's not right that you should have this kind of aggression in front of your children. They're all traumatized over what they saw that day when you were arrested.
Y no es correcto que usted demuestre este tipo de agresión en frente de ellos. Todos se traumaron y están traumatizados de lo que sucedió ese día al verla a usted ser arrestada.
Pero mi esposo fue el que me arrestó a mí, sir.
But my husband was the one
that is not true. The ones that arrested you were the police.
Los que le arrestaron a usted fue la policía. Eso que le arrestó a su esposo no es cierto.
Your children called the police because they didn't know what to do.
Sus hijos le hablaron a la policía porque ellos no sabían qué hacer.
Because you were not able to be controlled.
Porque usted no la podían controlar.
And in your anger and in your assault, you assaulted your own daughter, busted her lip.
Y en su coraje, en su agresión, usted le pegó a su propia hija, o sea, le partió el labio.
No, ella me golpeó a mí.
No, she hit me.
So this is the problem, that it's everybody's fault except yours. You're a perfect mother, right?
Y este es el problema, que todo el mundo tiene la culpa menos usted. O sea, usted es la perfecta mamá, ¿verdad?
No, sir, es que ella fue la que él le decía a mi hija que me golpeara.
Well, no, the thing is that he would tell her to hit me.
Que me golpeara si quería que me matara. Eso no está bien.
For her to hit me and to kill me, and that's not right.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm present. I'm here.
Mr. Malagón.
Yes, sir.
I am concerned about this case, but I do not want to deprive your client of complete visitation rights to these children. But I gotta tell you right now, her denial, in the light of what I heard, it just doesn't sit well. I don't know. Those kids need help, Mr. Malagón.
I understand, Your Honor.
I mean, they need counseling. They are traumatized. They are freaked out. They don't understand what the heck happened here to the perfect family they had, for whatever reason. And she might be denying it and all that, but all I can tell you is what I faced yesterday was indeed very sad to me. It was disheartening. It was, I could just feel their pain, man. I mean, I cannot ignore that. I want to give your client the opportunity, but I do not want her to be starting any problems over there, causing any scandal. I don't believe they love their mother. What I told her is true. They both were in tears over that. That it's not about that. It's about the confusion and the depression and all this anger that she exhibits and what happened. And she's got her version of the, they were called upon, by the husband to beat her up. I do not believe that at all. If you seen those children, I don't think that was ever in their mind. They've been very confused about her actions, but that has not diminished the way they feel about her, which is that they love her. It's their mom. But for the moment, I think it's best that they stay with the dad. And for the moment, I'm going to ask that she not be going around the house and all that, and that she can have visitation with the children on a standardized visitation, but she needs to get counseling. And I want to see if I can try to find some counseling for the children. I don't know, but I think that this matter is, when we get to the root of it, it's either him or it's either her, right? If we give her credibility, it's him. It's him that's on her, wants to do this, wants to do that to her, and all this and all that. But we're gonna get this thing divorced done, and we're gonna separate them and let them go their own separate ways. But they're still gonna have to be parents over these children.
Correct.
And we need to. There's some issues here, and I want your help, and I want Mr. Robles' help to allow the court to see what I can do to address the children's need, because I think they need it. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a sociologist. I'm not anybody in the field, but I do have experience having seen these situations before, many a times in this court, and before that when I was in private practice. So I draw up on that to tell you what I'm telling you right now.
Yes, sir.
Please share that with your client. It's not a matter. I hope that she finds it in her to realize what's going on here, and that she can help out and become a little bit more in line of what she used to be, at least according to them. That's all. They want their mother back. They don't recognize this one. Bottom line.
Understand, Your Honor.
All right. I am going to appoint a attorney ad litem and charge her with responsibility of helping me get these children to some counseling.
One thing I might add, Your Honor, obviously Mr. Allure is going to be at the residence. Mr. Allure has obviously changed the locks already, but he's also kept the stimulus money, the car, and pretty much left her with nothing. I don't know if Your Honors would allow her to retrieve one of the cars to get around, for clothes at least. And some cars? Of the, I'm sorry, what, sir?
How many cars do you have, Mr. Allure?
I have one car that I'm paying for and a truck.
Okay.
Your Honor, the only issue is that Respondent Ms. Ortega doesn't have a driver's license, and
tell her to get a driver's license. Does she have a driver's license?
She has a Mexican driver's license, Your Honor.
Unfortunately, that's not insurable in Texas under the. So she would be driving without.
I think that I seem to believe that there might be an issue about a Mexican license get for insurance purposes. But if she could get her own insurance on the car, that would be all right too. But here I go again. If it's about money, and she's still working.
I believe she's still working. She's still working, Your Honor.
Where is she working, at the hotel?
Correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
She's a housekeeper.
Yeah, what is it? The Holiday Inn Express?
Wait. She's a provider, Your Honor. There isn't, apparently they let her go based on an incident which I have not fully investigated. that Mr. Allure does have her old cell phone. And apparently Mr. Allure has been calling those people on her cell phone, including her former employer, to fire her. Now, these are, of course, these are just allegations.
Well, again, it's in the fight or flight mentality right now. Everybody else's fault. She's the one that's being attacked, and this is all materially unfair to her. I understand. I mean, that's all subject to proof, Mr. Malagon, and that's
Correct.
fine and dandy, you know. A lot of things that the client says are subject to proof. And I hope and pray that Mr. Allure is not that type of individual that would engage in such conduct. But it is what it is. All right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna appoint Ms. Cortez, Ms. Salas. Do I need an order or do you have one? Send me an order appointing Christina Cortez. Christina Cortez is that an item for the children.
Yes, Your Honor.
I will not order child support point either. Mr.
Yes, Your Honor. No
child
problem.
support. No child support.
Yes, sir. Shall we have Christine help one, set up counseling for the children and also contact Mr. Malagon about counseling for the mother?
Yeah, you know, she might be a good source. She's worked with these situations before.
That's
She's
correct.
handled them from one end to the other. Yeah, that would be insightful. Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
yeah, submit me the order so I can formally appoint her.
Yes, sir. I'll do that.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Excused?
Yes. All right, let me see. Mr. Allure, we're finished. We're finished, sir. We're finished. You can check, we're finished.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. Criminal hearings, 2019 DCR 1337, State of Texas versus Monica Rodriguez, motion to adjudicate.
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Al Alvarez, I'm here with Ms.
Morning, Mr. Alvarez.
Good morning, sir.
How you doing?
Very good, sir. Very good, sir.
Raise your right hand.
Raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly swear from the testimony you will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. You can put your hand down.
All right, so what are we doing on 2019 DCR 1337, Monica Rodriguez? Mr. Who's the probation officer?
Good morning, Your Honor, Ms. Castro.
Ms. Castro, what are we doing with that? This one, I'm reading your report dated March 14, 2022.
Yes.
And what is it, an arrears situation?
No, the last time we came, Your Honor, you admonished her strongly for her to comply with the conditions of probation because of the motion to revoke was originally filed based on a disorderly conduct charge that she got by over there in my county in Texas. The attorney said that it was dismissed. And you told her, you admonished her for her to comply, that we were going to monitor her for 6 months and see how she's doing. I spoke to the probation officer in Hidalgo County. She said she reported and has tested negative. However, she still has not attended any meetings. And also she has not made a payment to her arrears since May 13th of last year. And she's currently in arrears.
How much in arrears?
$700.
500. I got a letter, it's 500.
Mr. Alvarez.
Judge, she's been substantially compliant with all the requirements of the probation office here. She says that she is currently $500 probably in arrears because she made a payment of 200 and something. She has a new job. She believes that she can catch up that within 60 to 90 days, the arrears. But with respect to staying out of trouble, bars, cantinas, anything like that, she's 100% compliant with the court's order.
Not 100%, right?
Well, that's right.
Since the last time.
Since the last time, yes. We're respectfully asking the court to continue her on.
I don't think, I'm sorry, Mr. Alvarez.
Go ahead.
I don't think that for 1 second that this is a matter where that needs to be adjudicated. But it is a matter that needs to be, once again, is your client there?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me
You put her on the
switch
screen.
the camera.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Look, you're just complicating your world. If you just get straight with this whole thing once and for all, quit coming back to me on this kind of stuff. It's totally within your hands and purview to just get it done. I am very appreciative and I commend you and I thank you for behaving, for not breaking the law other than when you had that initial back in 2020 and disorderly conduct situation. That goes a long ways with me, that you're not breaking the law, but at the same time, you only got very little to go to comply and be completely compliant with my orders. It's not a big move. It's not a monumental task. It's not something that's going to take tremendous amount of your life, time, or effort. Get it done. Do you understand me?
Yes,
Ms.
sir.
Rodriguez.
Yes, sir.
Just get it done ASAP and get us out of your hair and keep complying. And then, you know, you might have a good face to come back to me and ask me to discharge you early, but get in compliance, stay in your rails, please.
Okay.
All right. The court will not act on this at this time. We'll reset it to allow Ms. Rodriguez an opportunity to get into compliance as required. And also that she continue to not violate the law as she's been doing, and I appreciate that. And that's the way we want to roll until the end of this case. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Costa.
Your Honor, to what date?
I'm gonna reset it for another 6 months, see how she's doing.
Yes, sir.
Hold on a minute, let me give you the date. September 21st.
September 21st. We'll be here, Your Honor.
Rodriguez, hopefully you'll have a different picture for me then. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Stay safe.
All right. 2012 DCR 1760, State of Texas, Thomas Craig Lopez.
He's on the screen.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Who's this counsel?
I actually don't have an attorney, Your Honor.
Why?
I haven't, well, I mean, I don't have the funds to hire one, and I was gonna ask the court if I could get a court-appointed attorney.
Ms. Solis?
Yes, I could have him screened. I mean, he would have to call pretrial services to get an attorney to see if he qualifies.
Do you have a number that I can tell him right now?
Yes, it's 574.
Hold on. You ready, Mr. Lopez?
Yes, Your Honor. 574.
8118.
8118. Okay.
Yeah, he needs to do it. Let me know. What do we do, Mr. Solis? What, are we set it for a couple of weeks?
Yes, for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, give me 2 weeks. April 5th, you should be back here, Mr. Lopez, with your attorney at that time. And if you get an attorney, you tell them about the date, okay? April 5th.
April 5th.
All right?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
2018 DCR 582, Dylan Craig Armendariz.
Good morning, Judge. Fabi Lima for Mr. Armendariz.
Morning. What is this, a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll let the plea papers. Where is is he in the courtroom?
Right here, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Armendariz? Is he on?
He should be on, Mr. Armendariz. You need to turn on the screen.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Mr. Armendariz.
Take off your hat.
Sir, in front of me, I have some documents, which is called the reading waiver and consent of stipulation. I'm gonna put it in front of the screen and just let me know if you remember these documents.
Yes, sir.
Okay, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for your attorney?
No, sir.
Okay, the last thing is this your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
Mr. Armendariz, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony given will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Put your hand down. Alejandro, this is our last client. He doesn't need an interpreter, so you can go to another court if you need to.
All right, this is cause number 2018 DCR 582, Fairfax for Dylan Craig Armendariz. Is that the true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
All right, your attorney, Mr. Limas, tells me you wish to enter a plea of guilty to a third-degree felony of what? Tell me what is it that you're pleading guilty to?
Possession of a controlled substance.
Okay. And do you understand in this case, that's a violation of a third-degree felony, which calls for confinement in prison for a term of not more than 10 years or less than 2. In addition, I can impose a fine not to exceed $10,000. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
No, sir.
You're not doing it freely and voluntarily?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
All right. Mr. Limas, do I need to rearrange Mr. Armendariz?
No, Judge.
All right.
We waive reading the indictment.
All right. Understanding what you're pleading guilty to, Mr. Armendariz, understanding what the range of punishment is, and now asking cause number 2018 DCR 582, what is your plea to the charges of third-degree possession of a controlled substance? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you're in fact guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty out of any persuasion of fear, hope of pardon, force, threats, or promises of any kind?
No, sir.
Have you ever been in a hospital, in a mental hospital, or treated by a doctor for any mental disorders?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Lima, you find Mr. Armendariz competent, able to assist in the defense he may have.
I do find that he is competent. He has assisted me in his defense.
All right. Mr. Armendariz, your plea comes to me with a recommended sentence. That's a sentence that's been recommended by Ms. Aranda and Mr. Limas, your attorney, and they're saying that that's a fair and appropriate sentence. What you need to know about that is the decision of whether to go along with that is totally only up to me. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. If I, for some reason, decided that it's not an appropriate sentence, I will reject it. And if I reject it, I will give you an opportunity to withdraw your plea of guilt and take it back as if you had not said anything to me this morning and proceed to a jury trial on these charges. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. The flip side of that coin is if I accept it, Mr. Armendariz, if I go along with the recommendation is, you may not appeal your case without the court's permission, except as to any pretrial motions Mr. Limas may have filed on your behalf prior to today. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. In that case, the court's going to find that your plea of guilt is freely and voluntarily made and that your competent stand trial as the state to produce evidence to substantiate the plea in this case.
State offers 1, 2, and 3 indictments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Armendariz, I have in my hand a set of documents. Can you see them?
Yes, sir.
This is called a plea packet, and all these documents are related to your arrest and all information that was generated as a result of your arrest. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this plea packet consists of 3 exhibits. Exhibit number 1 is a 8-page document, and on page 6 of exhibit number 1, there is on page 6, a signature line and a signature. Is that your signature, Mr. Armendariz?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Armendariz, were you aware that in these documents, when you signed these documents, you were giving up your right, certain constitutional rights, you were waiving your right to a jury trial, you were waiving your right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself, and you were waiving your right to confront your accusers. Did you understand that to be the case, and is that what you want?
Yes, sir.
All right. Further, Mr. Armendariz, with respects to exhibit 2 and 3, you are representing to me by your signature here that you have an informal stipulated agreement with the prosecution that exhibits 2 and 3 are true and correct copies of the original incident report, the arrest report, the lab reports that were generated as a result of your respective arrest, the reason you're pleading guilty to me this morning. Is that in fact your stipulated agreement, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. In that case, the court's going to find that you have voluntarily and intelligently waived your constitutional and statutory rights and the evidence offered by the state that substantiate your plea. What is Mr. Armendariz's background?
None, Judge.
All right. The court here will hereby abide by the plea agreement and hereby sentences Mr. Armendariz to 2 years deferred adjudication probation on this claim and this charge under the following conditions. Listen up, Mr. Armendariz.
Morning. The defendant will remain arrest-free?
Hear that, Mr. Armendariz.
Yes, sir.
Do not get arrested anymore. I don't care if you're guilty or not of what you're being arrested for again. It doesn't matter to me. It matters to me that you've been arrested again. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Alcohol and drug evaluation?
Yes.
JD high school diploma?
Yes.
Yes.
He has it. Maintain gainful employment?
Yes.
Random UAs?
Yes.
The breathalyzer?
No.
The restitution, 180?
Yes.
And the 15-hour drug offender education program?
Mandatory.
Okay. May I please have the defendant phone number, please?
Mr. Armendariz, I want you to give me a number where you're going to be able to be contacted 24/7. What's the number?
956 517-5878.
Thank you.
The court will give him 180 days to pay the court costs.
Judge, one request, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Your Honor, Mr. Armendariz resides in, I think, is it McKinney, Texas? And I think the county that he now resides is, I think it's called Upton County. Mr. Armendariz, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And we're asking this honorable court can transfer this to his county where he resides, Judge.
Okay, that'll be ordered.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Huh? To Upton County, well, he'll tell